Ladies and gentlemen, Friday is here, and so is a cool front with rain chances. Let's see how low temperatures are going to go in this Friday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning, thanks for joining us. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. It is Friday, the 30th of August, 2024. We had some scattered showers and storms yesterday, and, well, guess what? We're going to be doing that for probably at least the next 5 to 6 days at least. Some days will be wetter than others, but I want to emphasize now, there will be extended periods of dry weather for your location, if you get rain at all, and it is not going to be a washout every single day this weekend into next week. Let's take a look at the high-resolution rapid refresh model for today, tonight, and into Saturday. Well, guess what? Another day of scattered thunderstorms. We're definitely going to see more today across the western half of the state as a weak cool front shifts south. That'll allow for some focus of thunderstorm activity as we head into the afternoon, but we're still going to see scattered pop-ups in the southeastern, eastern portions of Texas as well. So I guess I could just say the eastern, 75% of the state, back into parts of the Big Bend, Permian Basin, Trans-Pecos, and Borderland, really with a period of an area of maybe dry weather this afternoon across the I-35 corridor. We'll see. It just depends where some of these boundaries set up. But again, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Any storm today, potential producing gusty outflow winds over 40 miles an hour, cloud-to-ground lightning, and brief periods of heavy rainfall. Really, this is looking like a pretty nice darn picture for parts of West Texas, Permian Basin, Northwest Texas. As we go through today, tonight, could pick up a couple inches of rain for some of y'all. As we go into tomorrow, you can see, same story. More storms popping up along that quasi-stationary boundary from Texoma to the Big Country, the Concho Valley, Permian Basin, and point southeast into really the southeastern half of the state in association with a weak area of low pressure. So these aren't particularly organized thunderstorms. There's no me being able to tell you, hey, it's going to be in your backyard at 4:08 p.m. and gone by 4:17 p.m. This is just a situation where you look outside, you see bubbles in the sky. It's going to be kind of, just pretend you're in Florida and picking up a pop-up thunderstorm during the afternoon, because that's pretty much what it is. We got tropical moisture. We have weak areas of lift overhead. We don't have the heat dome suppressing said lift. So there you go. That's what happens. And with it, we'll get cloud debris and some cooler temperatures. Now, as we go through the weekend, I'm going to actually restart this from the beginning because it's my prerogative. Here you go. Longer range global forecast system. You can see it keeps scattered showers and thunderstorms continuing through Sunday. You can see more, really, southeastern 75% of Texas. This is a lower resolution weather model, so it's not as pinpointy, but you can see it actually does try to bring a pretty widespread area of rain to the western half of the state on Monday. We'll see if that happens. There's some debate on exactly the widespread nature. Is it going to be this widespread or not? We'll see. I mean, hopefully it is, because that would be great. That would bring beneficial rains to a pretty good region footprint. But as we go through, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, as you can see, we still have scattered showers and storms popping up, especially during the afternoon or daylight hours, at least, across the southeastern 75% of the state, which, yeah, that's not exactly unexpected and seems to be the general consensus over the next few days. We're going to be unsettled weather. And with all that rain chances, I want to emphasize it's not going to pour rain every single minute of every single day at your location. Some folks are probably still going to get unlucky and hardly see a thing. Some folks are going to see 5 inches of rain, and some of you could see that amount of rain in a day if you're particularly unlucky in the flash flood department. But one benefit, notice all the cloud cover. That's going to help keep temperatures down. Let's take a look at forecast rain totals over the next 5 days from the Weather Prediction Center. Now, this is not something you see too often in late August in Texas, unless there's a hurricane, and there's not a hurricane. We're looking from this morning through 7 a.m. Wednesday, the 4th of September. Well, there's 2 focal points here, but the clear indication is nearly the entire state should see measurable rainfall over the next 5 days. Maybe not the northern Texas panhandle, but I mean, y'all kind of did get some showers this morning. The area of rain along the Texas Gulf Coast, the coastal bend from Corpus Christi up through the Victoria Crossroads, southeast Texas, the Golden Triangle, Houston, Beaumont, Galveston. That's an association with a tropical low today where we could see some additional heavy rain, but we're going to have more storms as we go through the weekend, early next week, because the tropical moisture is not going anywhere. Western portions of the state, or at least west of I-35, how about that? It is not often I get to say widespread rains of 1 to 4 inches. West Texas, the Southern Panhandle, the Permian Basin, the Trans-Pecos, the Big Bend, the Edwards Plateau, the Concho Valley, the Hill Country, the Big Country, Northwest Texas, Texoma, and Western North Texas. 1 to 4 inches of rain on average, the potential for some locations to pick up over 5 at times over the next few days. Now, most of this is not going to fall in one day. This will be spread out over a few days, but well, we probably will start to see some at least modest flooding as we get into early next week, especially if we get that big old blob of precipitation on Monday. We're going to see streams, creeks, rivers come back alive, and hopefully we'll see at least some gains in lake levels. But with this being said, the severe thunderstorm threat in terms of tornadoes, hail, hurricane force winds is negligible. This is not a severe weather setup. This is it's going to rain setup. And this is honestly almost a late August miracle. This is absolutely spectacular and makes Baldy in Chief a very happy Baldy in Chief. Areas across North Texas, the Arklatex, Northeast Texas, down through Central Texas, the Brazos Valley, South Texas, Rio Grande Plains, Rio Grande Valley. Kind of in almost the rain hole here. We're going to have scattered showers and storms. We're just not looking at the super widespread stuff you may see farther west. So some folks may only get a few hundredths to a tenth of an inch of rain in those regions. Some of y'all may end up under a heavy downpour and get 2 to 3 inches of rain anyway. But again, this is pretty darn too nice. This is a nice way to end August and a good way to start September. And again, depending on how the weather pattern sets up, here's the Climate Prediction Center outlook. September 4th through the 8th, below average temperatures continue to look pretty likely across the state, or at least average. And precipitation chances continue to look above average through the first week of September. So it looks like we may add on more rain after that 5-day rain total I just showed y'all. Again, nothing at this point, excluding maybe Monday, looks like crazy widespread rain out potential, but you're going to want to have a backup for your outdoor Labor Day plans just in case you get a storm over you. Temperatures over the next 5 days, well, here's today. You can definitely tell where we're going to have that cool front setting up. Highs only in the 70s, Panhandle, West Texas, 81 in Lubbock, 77 in Amarillo, Dumas, Borger, technically I guess Borger is about 81, 77 in Pampa, 78 Canadian, 79 in Perryton. Still, 80s, 90s, southeastern 2/3 to 75% of the state, but as we go into tomorrow, we're going to see mostly 80s, western half of the state, with a couple 70s mixed in for highs, upper 80s to mid-90s, eastern half of the state, with the hottest temperatures probably in the upper 90s, South Texas, the Edwards Plateau, the Rio Grande Valley, and Plains. Sunday, same story, but then, as we get into Monday, and those rain chances increase, how about this? Northern 2/3 of the state, 70s and 80s for high temperatures. We're looking at 86 in Texarkana, Longview, Tyler, 87 in DFW, 87 in Wichita Falls, 85 in Abilene, Sweetwater, 79 in Midland and Odessa, 79 in Fort Stockton, 73 in Alpine, 83 in El Paso. Looking at 87 in Waco, 89 in Austin, 92 in San Antonio, 88 to 90 in Houston, low to mid-90s in South Texas. As we go into Tuesday, a little cooler. Low to mid-80s. Panhandle, West Texas, Northwest Texas, the Big Country, the Concho Valley, the Hill Country, the Permian Basin, 70s in the higher terrain of the Davis-Guadalupe Mounds, even down to the Trans-Pecos probably, 86 in El Paso, looking at mid to upper 80s, Arklatex, East Texas, the Brazos Valley, North Texas, with upper 80s to middle 90s. Southeast Texas, the Coastal Bend, the Coastal Plains. South Central Texas, the Edwards Plateau, into the Rio Grande Plains and the Rio Grande Valley. And again, all of the temperatures I just talked about are the high temperatures. If you end up with a thunderstorm over you at 1 p.m. and it's 92 degrees, it's going to be in the 70s the rest of the day, most likely. So, this is Baldy in Chief approved. So it is a great time for me to give shout outs to our spinny doomers here in the Texas Weather Center. Gotta thank you so much for your membership. Appreciate it so much. Ryan Tucker, Anthony Pelusi, Amanda Cakes, Jacob Benitez, Love Live Laugh, r/Tornado Chats, and Jacqueline Alvarez. Thank you for being spinny doomers here on the Texas Weather Center YouTube channel. And thank you to everyone who is a member, who is subscribed, who watches these videos on a daily basis. We appreciate you. If you're new here, welcome aboard. I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button, join our little family here, and if you enjoy our content, hit that thumbs up because it makes the algorithm happy. Kind of like Moopsy back there. So that'll be it for this Friday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. A unsettled weekend and first week of September in store for Texas, but no hurricanes on our doorstep. Right now, at least, we are going to have to watch a system developing in the Caribbean next week. Depending on what that does, that could be a candidate for a issue for the Gulf of Mexico, maybe in about 10 to 14 days. We'll keep an eye on it after a quiet August in the Atlantic Tropical Basin, at least in our department. And otherwise, unsettled weather continues. Maybe a little warmer, a little drier as we get into the second half of next week, but we'll see. That'll be it for your Friday edition. We'll have your next regularly scheduled Texas Weather Roundup bright and early on Monday, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're putting something out this weekend. As always, you can get your local weather forecast, interactive weather radars, and more on the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps for your device. Have a great Friday. God bless.